What is going on, guys? It's the Inside the Blue podcast, and today we have a Yankees video on your screen. There is the AL East standings as of today. A lot of talk about the New York Yankees, Clay Holmes, Aaron Boone, and maybe a few other players, but mainly Aaron Boone and Clay Holmes, and honestly Brian Cashman as well. I'll throw his name in there. But I guess we'll start off with the AL East standings. And you see the Yankees are now a half game back after being in the lead. They choked that away. It seems like neither the Orioles or the Yankees want to win this division. You see one day and the Orioles are leading, and then they lose two straight, and the Yankees win two straight. And then it's the opposite. The Yankees fall off, and then the Orioles retake it. But eventually, I feel like this game in particular, the game we're going to be talking about today, with the Texas Rangers defeating the Yankees off a grand slam led up by Clay Holmes. It seems to me the Yankees have no intentions of ever taking Clay Holmes out of the closer spot, and it mind boggles me that is the decision that is made in the front office and the managers and all the staff. The guy has blown 11 saves now. On what planet does that work? If you were classified and you want to be a World Series contender, because that's what everyone sees the Yankees as, and I see the betting favorites and all of this, scratch all of that. If you want to be a World Series contender, you have to make the right moves and at the right time. And I think you've waited way too long to take Clay Holmes out of the closer spot. There are many other options you can use. Tommy Kahnle, who's probably been your best reliever. Why not give that guy a shot? And I feel like when it comes to closers, you have a solidified go-to pitch that works. Tommy Kahnle's changeup works. As much as I sometimes bash him for throwing it so many times, it pays off in the end, and it works. Clay Holmes' sinker, the batting average is like through the roof. And you look at other pitchers in the league that are closers. Emmanuel Clase has a cutter that, like, the batting average is like 120. Josh Hader, I think it's his sinker or whatever pitch. We broke it down previously in another video. Closers have a pitch that they go to, and they stick with it. Clay Holmes is all over the place. He's throwing sinkers in the dirt. He's throwing curveballs, sweepers, whatever you want to call it. Throwing a slider to I forgot who it was, but he had a grand slam. And I even said in my head, I'm watching this TV, I'm standing up hoping, just praying that they just get 2 outs. I say to myself, I swear if this guy lets up a grand slam, and literally 3 seconds later, the ball is over the wall, and I immediately shut off my TV and go to bed, because I did not want to do any sort of breakdown that night. I was considering it. I had no intentions to, and that's why we're doing it today. I'm in a bit of a better mood. I'm not happy that the Yankees are a half game behind the Orioles now, but yeah, it seems like the Yankees and the Orioles don't want the division at all. And I think for the Yankees standpoint, they've gotten many times away with it, because sometimes the Orioles just played terrible when the Yankees played terrible. The Yankees had a terrible record going into the All-Star break. And the Orioles, I think the Yankees were maybe 1 game back or something. Like, the Orioles did the Yankees so many favors, and the Yankees just decided to let that go. And now we're 80 and 59, and it's obviously a 2-man race. But you would like to get the number 1 spot. And I know you can win the World Series as a wild card, this and that. I don't want to play for a damn wild card. I don't think this team does either. That's what pisses me off. Is I see the Yankees and I see the Baltimore Orioles. Both teams obviously have some flaws, and I think the Yankees should be ahead of the Baltimore Orioles because they had an easy August. It was so easy. Orioles were taking on the Dodgers and good teams. The Yankees were struggling against teams like the White Sox, the Texas Rangers, who are not good this year. They're still going over their World Series hangover. But yeah, really bad teams. Sure, I understand the Cardinals are 68 and 68 at the time, There should be no reason why you're struggling against them. What's another series that came up? Like, what are we doing? The Nationals. What are we doing? Like I usually say 2 out of 3, but there are some teams in August should have been a sweep, with ease. That's just what pisses me the fuck off, honestly. And I don't like to curse, but yeah, 14-12 this month of August. Do I love it? Honestly, no. This should have been 18 wins. The Yankees should be in first place right now with a comfortable lead going into September, but they're not. They make it way too hard for us, and they make it a damn war. It's a tug-of-war match right now with the Baltimore Orioles, and I don't understand. I really don't. Sure, the Yankees have Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. Orioles have Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Jackson Holiday. So it's basically the youth against the veterans, and I don't know what if it came down to a Yankees Orioles playoff series today. I don't know if we're winning, and I don't like to throw people under the bus, but the fact that DJ LeMahieu and Verdugo are still getting reps, and I assume Aaron Boone would plug them in a playoff game, I don't think they win that series. You have to, when it comes to playoffs, you need your 9 best guys in the lineup. And it's Gleyber Torres at the leadoff spot, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Austin Wells at the number 4 spot. Then you throw Giancarlo, then you throw Rizzo or Chisholm, and then you go, I think you guys understand the 9 best players. And the 9 best players currently aren't in that lineup. Sorry, I got the sniffles. I'm sick, and I'm sick and tired of the Yankees being like this. Because I don't think the Yankees should have went 14-12. And I mentioned so many times, if you want the division, take advantage of August. And I don't think 14-12 is taking advantage of August. You should have dominated. And what I honestly mean by dominating, I'm honestly saying like 20-6. That would have been a perfect month, honestly. But they don't do that. They struggle. And I guess speaking of the man on the slideshow, Garrett Cole, he did get cramping in Game 2. He will be perfectly fine. Yankees are getting Luis Gil on Friday and Clark Schmidt on Saturday, so that's a huge boost. And now, if you're Aaron Boone, do you run a 6-man rotation? Do you run Nestor Cortez in the bullpen? I am a firm believer that Nestor Cortez should be in the bullpen. I think it makes sense. A middle relief pitcher can eat a lot of innings if you had a big bullpen day in a playoff game the previous day. I think it makes the most sense. And listen, I think Nestor has kind of proven a few of us Yankee fans a little bit wrong. I would have traded him at the deadline. I will admit that, and you guys can probably remember from the previous deadline video who I wanted. And I thought Jack Flaherty was a real fit. They obviously complained about medical, but that's a while ago. We don't need to bring up that type of news. But 14-12, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I guess getting into our next thing with Aaron Boone, what are we doing with Jason Dominguez? Where is he gonna play? That is my real question first. And Aaron Boone said there's really nowhere to play, and that's because Alex Verdugo is taking up time in left field. That's not because Jason Dominguez is not ready or the service time. It's not. Aaron Boone, Brian Cashman, and the rest of the Yankees staff believes that this guy, Alex Verdugo and Trent Grisham, who have not been good as a Yankee, they believe the veteran presence more than the young stud in AAA. And the young stud in AAA is hitting the baseball quite well. switch hitter, showed signs last year when he played, hit a home run in his first at bat off Justin Verlander. Like, the thing is with me is I like experiments. I like when we experiment things and we try different things. And the worst case scenario is you go right back to normal. And I'm not saying change things every day, but there are some things that I just don't love what we do. Like, I mean, I've said it multiple times. Throwing Clay Holmes in high-danger situations. Like, the guy doesn't have it. The guy is not a closer. He's a 7th, 8th inning pitcher. Give the role to someone else. Do what they did to Chapman in 2017. Only pitch him in games that, I don't like to say meaningless, but are kind of guaranteed victories. But it feels like whenever Clay Holmes is pitching, there's no guarantee in any sake. Because the guy just doesn't have it. Like, ever. Like, when you see him warming up, doing his arm circles, doing his arm routine, it might be, honestly, in your best interest to just turn it off and not have to suffer. Because I've suffered 11 times seeing this guy blow saves. And it just doesn't make sense to me, honestly. Because 11 blown saves is outrageous. For a team that has 80 wins. 80 wins and you have 11 blown saves. So assuming he was perfect, you would have 91 wins. But if you split that in half, you have like 85, 86. And I think if you have 86 going into the last game against Texas, and then you go into play the Cubs and then the Kansas City Royals, I would feel much more confident. And I'm pretty sure, what does he have, 26 saves? Might have more than that, but he would have 30 saves, and that would be a pretty productive season out of Clay Holmes. But he's a relief pitcher at best. He's a 7th inning pitcher. Give the role to someone else, and I don't understand. I mean, Meredith Marakovich, reporter, said, like, is there going to be change? And Boone probably gave, like, the worst answer. Let me pull it up on my phone, because I screenshotted it on my phone. It's probably the worst response we could have gotten. Yeah, so here it is. He said, Aaron Boone says, in past years, Clay Holmes has gone through stretches where he has struggled mechanically. And I don't feel he's had a lot of stretches this year. Tonight, they got him. A lot of the times where we've lost, it's been soft contact beating him. Well, I'll tell you right now, a moonshot heading into the left field seats is not soft contact. That's a piss missile that was tattooed. And sure, Clay Holmes is a contact hitter, but this guy allows more contact than I've ever seen. And it's not good contact. Like, it's not ground balls. It's hard hit contact that gets through. But yeah, the defending Clay Holmes and this has to stop. Like, now. I need to see a tweet that is saying that the closing role is nobody's. It is now up for grabs, and whoever is hot should be the closer. And it's Tommy Kahnle, clearly. I mean, the guy's been rolling. Oh, man, it really pisses me off. Here's the upcoming games. They got one more in Texas. They got a game against the Cubs, 3-game series, and then Kansas City. How many games do you think the Yankees will win? In my opinion, in 7 games, probably should win about 4. 4 and 3 is probably... Because, I mean, Kansas City's a really good team. We do know that. Bobby Witt is for real. He is going to, unfortunately, come in second because Aaron Judge is having an unbelievable season. Again, does Aaron Judge hit 60 home runs? We don't know. But, yeah, I mean, it's no gimmies, really. I mean, the Cubs aren't bad. And Kansas City, it's definitely improved. They have definitely improved, very much so. So I look at those, upcoming 7, and hey, Got to pitch well, got to hit well, and I mean, the offense has actually come alive. Like Stanton, I know a lot of people have been hating on him this season. He's had a really productive season. Anthony Volpe's had some good hits. Jazz Chisholm, man, this guy was probably the best addition I've seen in probably some decent time in terms of trade deadline acquisition. This guy just runs. He beats out ground balls. He steals bases. He got Leclerc to balk yesterday on a double steal. He could score from first. Everything you want out of Jazz Chisholm, you got. And I'm pretty proud with that decision. And they didn't give up much. But you didn't address the bullpen. And I know guys were coming back. But like this thing just, it doesn't make me happy when I see this guy come back and this guy come back. Like, they're not always going to come back and just play as their normal selves. And clearly, that is like the expectation that they're just going to come back and they're going to hit great. Jose Trevino caught last night. I thought he played okay. And that honestly, probably the reason why he started was because Austin Wells got hit in the hand yesterday. He's fine. X-rays were negative, thank gosh. But, yeah, I mean, like, there's just so much, like look at these numbers for Jason Dominguez, getting back to him. I'll pull those up right now, but, like, it's stuff like that just, it just doesn't make me happy. Where is it? I think we just had it. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, 205 at bats. This is AAA ball. Like, this is his stuff. Where'd it go? But yeah, this is his stuff. Jason Dominguez is batting 205, 30 ribbies, 307 batting average, an 857 OPS. Like, all these numbers are very good. And like I said, when is he going to be called up? I thought it was going to be on September call-ups, but we call up Duke Ellis, the guy who's been just a pinch runner. Like, we don't need that. We have Oswaldo Cabrera to do that. We have, we don't need that. We need Jason Dominguez up because he's better than Verdugo and Grisham. But it seems like this team doesn't want to win. Like, they want to just make the playoffs, be happy we made the playoffs, say it's a success, and this and that. You have Juan Soto on your team for, as of now, 1 year. 1 year of Juan Soto. That 1 year, you would like to get to the World Series. Like, you'd like to. The AL is open. Like, the only two teams that really scare me are the Orioles and the Guardians, as of right now. And then if you're in a wild card, I mean, I haven't checked the wild card recently. I guess I'll pull that up on my phone just to get a little insight of who's going to potentially be in. I kind of have maybe a gist of who's going to make it. Let's see. AL wild card. Well, obviously the Yankees are in it, and then there's the Twins, and the Kansas City Royals. Those are the three teams right now. Minnesota's up one game on the Kansas City Royals. Boston's at 70 wins. They're 4.5 games back. Yankees are 4-6 in their last 10. And this is August. Like, this was August, and I think I saw it like they had, like, the fourth easiest schedule, and now they have a tight schedule. As we look at the full schedule, right? So their full schedule to literally wrap up the year. They have one more game in Texas, like we said. They have 3 games against Chicago on the road. Then they have 3 games at home against Kansas City, 4 games at home against Boston, and then they have their final road trip is Seattle 3 games, Oakland 3 games, and then Baltimore 3 games at home, and Pittsburgh to wrap up the season. So, I mean, your biggest threats in terms of good teams is probably like Kansas City, Boston, Baltimore. Seattle kind of fell off, honestly. If we look at the standings again, yeah, they're 69 and 70. So it's really Baltimore, Boston, and Kansas City. Those are your three teams that are really your teams that you need to beat, because Boston has had your hand. The AL East to begin with has beat you up, and as good as the Orioles are, I think the Yankees are down 4-3 in the series, so I think you have to sweep. I think you have to sweep in order to win the head-to-head. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. Hope you guys like the new format with all the slideshows, all that. I enjoyed it, but yeah, Clay Holmes doesn't need to be the closer anymore. Aaron Boone needs to make a change before it's too late. I think he should have made a change way earlier, but yeah, that's gonna do it for the Inside the Booth podcast. I'm your host Vin. Of course, let's go Yanks. Let's win tonight against the Texas Rangers. And yeah, that's going to do it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.